This morning, new numbers show that for the first time in history, less than half of the population in England and Wales describe themselves as Christian. The Office of National Statistics, says there are nearly 28 million Christians right now. That's a drop from 2011 when there were just over 33 million. In terms of percentages, that goes from 59% in 2011 to 46%. So Pastor Wade Rose, the founding dean at the Artios Center for Vibrant Leadership, is joining us live from North Carolina. Pastor Rose, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So how big of a surprise is it to see a place that is so traditionally Christian as the British Isles, known for being majority Christian, now switch to Christianity not being a majority? In fact, the largest rise in faith was no faith, people that don't espouse any faith there. So people are trading Christianity for nothing. Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised at all. I was actually in England a few years ago, and at the end of a leadership training, we went out to eat, and funny enough, we walked into a restaurant that was a cathedral, used to be a cathedral, used to be a church building, and that's a trend over there. And it's not surprising because what we're dealing with, what we're seeing, is the death of cultural Christianity. There used to be a time when being a good citizen meant being a good member of a church, and unfortunately that era has passed.
Well, you mentioned going into an old church that was now a pub. I had the same experience in Pittsburgh a few years back, right here in this country. It was a deconsecrated, I'm not sure if I'm using that term right, Catholic church in Pittsburgh, and it was a bar. So is this already coming to the United States, this sort of apathy toward religion and toward Christianity specifically?
It has already jumped the pond, as you might say, and is very much here. Religious tradition versus living faith. That's what we're dealing with, and it's very much here in the United States. Pew Research will verify that. The Barna Group, they're all telling us that there is this decline in Christianity here in America as well.
So how is it impacting the congregations in the U.S. then? I know that each of the different Protestant denominations and the Catholic Church probably have a different strategy of how to tackle this, but what are the different strategies and what's the impact been?
Well, excuse me. I believe, as I said earlier, we're witnessing the death of cultural Christianity. I believe that the mainline evangelical church in this country has become way too political. A political agenda has been, engaged in a way that doesn't serve the church very well. And I believe that the people outside the church, they are now seeing what they have suspected all along, and that is that the people inside the church are just like them, that we have the same fears, we want to be in charge, we want to be in control. And so basically, I'm encouraging people in my sphere of influence to take a whole different approach to Christianity. We're seeing our world, you might say, is bent out of shape, and particularly for our young people who are watching, they know fake when they see it, and they won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. And that's why there's so many of our young people we have a whole group of young people we call the nuns, because they have no faith. They just want to believe in anything. And basically, I'm saying this is an exciting time for the Christian church, because the darker the night, the brighter the light shines. And so this is an invitation for the church to come back to its true calling.
All right. Well, that is Pastor Wade Rose in North Carolina. Pastor, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.